All right, let me get started. This hopefully is, well, it is Java, programming one in Java. Hopefully that's where you want to be today. I'm Tom Gibbons. I teach in the computing department. I teach a lot of the upper level software development classes, but also get to teach this class, which is one of my favorite classes to teach. So we get started on programming and software development here. So we're just going to walk through, get us organized today, and just kind of jump into a little bit of the first chapter sort of stuff. Try to get everything organized. If you've taken computer classes or computer classes from me, you'll see some similarities from them. If you've taken like CIS principles or stuff like that, you may have you'll see some similarities with that also. But for a lot of you, you haven't had a class from me. You may not have had a computer class here yet. And so a lot of this will be new. So we'll try to get a smooth transition into this system. So hopefully you can get logged into the computers. If you're having trouble getting logged into the computers, let me know that. And then we're going to go into Brightspace there and find our course. So we want to find this course, the CIS 2085 Programming 1 course in Brightspace. It should look like this once we get there. So why don't we see how we do? And again, look around. If someone needs help, they can ask me, but sometimes it's useful just to help your neighbor find their way around this sort of stuff. So that's where we're going to be going at. So there'll always be announcements on the front page here, and so we'll just talk about the announcements while people are getting logged in and stuff like that. So the main, well, there's a welcome announcement there. I cleared that out of my thing, but the other announcement is tomorrow we're doing a welcome to computer students at my house for anyone who's a computer student. So the computer faculty will be there, and a bunch of computer students will be there. We'll just visit, have some sandwiches and salads and fruit and veggies and chips and that sort of stuff there. And just relax and get to know each other for a little bit. Brandon, another faculty, is bringing a cornhole game. I don't know if you're familiar with that game, but it's only a Minnesota game. It gotta be a US game. You have these bean bags and you have these little wood things. You throw the bean bag into the hole at the other end. So if you haven't played cornhole, we'll have that set up to play while we're there. So if you're interested, my upper division students who've had 4 courses from me at this point, they want to come there to visit with me and the other faculty and stuff like that and talk about what they did this summer, and that's fine. But you don't know me, probably you may not, this may be your first class of me, and other computer students may not know that many, so you may feel intimidated. So feel free, you don't have to go to this, but it is hopefully a nice, welcoming, low stress environment. So if you just want to show up, grab a sandwich, that sort of stuff, that'd be great to it. So your attendance will not dictate whether or not you come or not, will not dictate what I think of you. I know I personally am not a big extrovert, so I tend to avoid going and meeting other people. So if you're not an extrovert, that's fine too. I certainly appreciate that. But if you want, I think we'll have a fun time. It will be a nice, low stress, fun time. We do ask that you just go to the sign up sheet, put your name down there, and if you have any dietary preferences, put that there. Just so we know that sort of stuff. So, and then again, if you need a ride, particularly at first, second year students, you may not have transportation around. We'll have people volunteering. So if you can give people a ride, just put that down. If you need a ride, just put that down. And sometime tomorrow we'll try to delegate or set up a couple rides so that everyone who needs a ride can get there. So questions on that? Have I stalled long enough so everyone logged in okay on this? So. Sounds good. Okay, let's look at this course. So this is an interesting course because it's a mix of first and second year students, and we sometimes have some upper level students who are non-computer majors in this course here. I'm teaching two sections of it. I'm teaching this one, right? Well, I'm actually teaching kind of three versions of this. I'm teaching this one right now, which is our 10:30 Monday, Wednesday, Friday one. Right after this, I teach an 11:45 Monday, Wednesday, Friday one in the same class. Come on in. Good. Speaking of someone who really needs to come to the computer welcome on tomorrow, you're going to come to my house tomorrow, my house. 5, we'll start serving food. Sign up. Okay. That's what you get if you come late. I force you to come to my house. That's how it works here, just so you know. Okay. So again, we have a 10:30 section of this. That's this one. We have an 11:45 after this one. So if for some reason you can't make it to this one, I have a mirror section right after this course here. We also have an online section, and we have some students in that stuff. So all those sections are combined into this one Brightspace section here. So you might see sometimes you might work on projects. There might be students that aren't actually in this class that are contributing, particularly like the discussion area and stuff like that. When you're posting the discussion stuff, it'll be more than just these students. There'll be the 2 sections at Duluth and 1 online section in this. Total of about 40 students taking this right now, I think. Also, I will tend to then, for the online students, be Zooming. I generally will Zoom this section. So like right now I've got Zoom up and I'm recording this, and then I'll post this online so that the online students can see this stuff. So that also means that if you can't get to class for some reason, and again, a common reason is if you're not feeling well, we want you to be staying home there. So if you're not feeling well, feel free to jump on Zoom. I always use the same Zoom link for everything, and that'll be posted around a number of places. So we always use the same Zoom link for all my classes here. So again, there are some student athletes who are away or whatever. If you can't make a class, the recording for this class will generally be posted the next day online. So that's why we often refer to this kind of as a high flex class. You have a lot of flexibility. I'll just warn you, with flexibility can come danger there. So I do see students who say, oh, I'll just watch that online. I won't go to class today. And most of the students who fail this class starts that slide where, oh, I just won't come to class today. I'll watch on Zoom, and then they're never coming to class. And then by the end of the class, they're behind on, 8 assignments, and they just can't get caught up. So just be warned that the most common reason for failing this class is simply not coming to class. So, or not doing the work for this. So, okay, let's jump into, I'm going to go into the content up here, and I'm going to start with the syllabus and walk through the syllabus just a little bit. So again, these are the 3 sections of this class that are combined in this kind of joint course here. So you don't have to have taken any computers before taking this class, though we recommend you take CS principles or have some computer experience before taking this class. It's certainly not required, but again, the kind of standard approach especially if you haven't ever had any computers in high school or before this, never had a computer, never worked on a computer, is to take our CS principles class, our CIS 1001 class. Your first year and take this your second year. So there's about half of this class is probably second year students, I think. About half this class is probably first year students who've had some computers somewhere before this class. So just be aware when you're entering this class, you don't have to have taken, and again, some of you might be taking CS principles at the same time as this class, and that is just fine too. You're certainly can take CS principles and this class at the same time. That's a perfectly fine relationship or setup there. So that's the one that is not a prerequisite, but we recommend that. So we'll be using a couple textbooks. Oh, I forgot to add, I've added one more textbook here. We'll see that in the readings here, but we're just using free textbooks that are out there. So you don't have to buy any software, any textbooks for that. We'll just link them all in here. Software, we'll talk about NetBeans and getting that set up in just a little bit when we get to that section. So, okay, this is me. This is my email, and this is my phone number. I think I reply to emails relatively quickly, like the same day. My students will say that it can take up to a week before Tom replies to an email. So I'm not sure which is correct there. I think I do a good job, but my students don't. So you have to try. So email, a little slower. Text, if you want a quick response, text me or something like that. So that's a good way to get a hold of me for that. Particularly if you're stuck, you're working on a program and you're stuck on something, or you have a question on something you're working on, feel free to text me. I get a lot of, especially later on in the semester, a lot of people who just screenshot some error message and say, what's wrong with this, and send me that text there. So you can text me anytime. My phone's smart enough so that when I'm asleep, my phone's silent. So I will just ignore you if I'm not aware of that. So don't worry about when you can text me or anything like that for that. I have office hours on Tuesday, Thursday from 9 to 10, official office hours, but I generally get here around 8 o'clock most days, and I usually stay here at around 4. And like today, I just teach these 2 classes. I don't do anything else today. So feel free to drop by my office. My office is 3605. It's right upstairs and down just on the 36th hallway for that with the other computer faculty for that. So feel free to stop by anytime. And again, if you see me before this class or after this class, again, I have another class right after this class, the same class. So especially online students, I have calendar slots you can sign up for, but anyone can use these. So if you go to this, there are times. So right now I'm doing Thursday nights and Sunday nights. You can just sign up for an appointment. So if you'd rather work ahead or say, I'm going to work on this on Sunday, or I'm going to want to meet with this, these work fine. You can certainly ask anything related to an assignment or anything that's due with this, but also if there's something else you want to talk about, advising, careers, any of that sort of stuff, feel free to use to sign up for a advisement slot. A Zoom meeting slot for that. So here's my Zoom link. So again, if you are can't come to class and want to Zoom into this class, this is the link you would use for that. So questions on that sort of stuff, getting a hold of me? So we'll, as far as grading goes, generally we'll have an assignment every week and a discussion every week. Typically the discussion will be related to, we will work on some activity in class, and then when you'll post your kind of solution activity to the discussion area there. So online students and face-to-face students will all post that there. We won't generally have a whole lot. Sometimes we won't have a whole lot of discussion, just sharing there. when we do these online, in class activities, the idea is just, I'm not grading how well you don't have to like get the correct answer. We want to learn. We want to go through a process of learning, trying, making mistakes, fixing those mistakes, and that sort of stuff. So then when you're done, you just post your result. And again, if you want an answer, someone else has posted it to the discussion area. So, that's already there. Again, be aware that you want to be learning this stuff there, so it helps to not just grab someone's answer and post it, because if you do that too many times, when assignments come or quizzes come, then you might not have internalized this knowledge as much as you want. So discussions will be from classwork generally. Assignments will be more on your own sort of stuff. We'll talk more about AI and that sort of stuff. Generally, again, tell you the truth, almost every assignment in the class, you could just take that assignment and post it into AI and it'll do it for you. So we have good AI and we want to learn how to use AI. So to tell you the truth, getting the right answer on the assignment is not that hard nowadays. The AI will generally do the right answer to all this sort of stuff. So the process is learning this sort of stuff, because if as you go on and learn more computer stuff or learn more about and do more programming or more work with this, it gets more challenging. You can't just get the answer. You've got to get better at getting these answers and that sort of stuff. So we'll talk more about assignments and how to use AI with these assignments and what to submit and what to watch for with this. We do have 2 exams here, and we'll talk more about them. One will be at the midterm and one will be at the end here. And they're 50 points each, so they're not a lot. They're a fair amount of points, but they're not a lot. They're not, well, they're kind of cumulative and that sort of stuff. And so we'll talk and we'll do some prep when we get to those exams. And again, that's something where if you've been doing the work and not just copy pasting answers as you go, the exam should be fine and not too bad. If you've just been copy pasting or having AI do all the work for you, AI is not going to necessarily help you on the exam. So that's where we're going to run into some learning issues here. And then a final project at the end where you kind of try to put everything together to make a project. So, and then this is just our schedule of what we're going to be doing in class here, and then a couple of our policies for this. Questions on this sort of stuff? All right, so let's go through, and I'm really not very good at names. And well, I'm pretty good at names, I'm not very good at faces. And so putting names to faces, not really good at. So it's going to take me a while to learn your names and particularly your faces associated with the name. So today I just want to go around and just tell me what name you'd like me to use. So what do you want me to call you for that? Okay, so just go around, and it also will serve, you might not know the people next to you, so just again will help the people next to you learn your name or know your name or how you want to be called. So let's just do that. Let's start here. Go. Miles. Okay, Miles. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. Go. What? Oh, yeah. Well, you got to say it so everyone else can, So, okay.
Cosmos.
Okay. So now I'll see, so I create a little seating chart and I'll try to move everyone's name into the right spots at some point. You don't have to, again, sit here at the same point, but it just help me there. And then we'll do this a couple more times to help me get used to pronunciations and that sort of stuff. Sorry about that. Okay. So why don't we start at unit 0 where it says start here. So the free textbooks. So this course was developed by Chris Gleasner, our department chair, and he's going to teach, if you go on to take Java 2, the course after this, programming 2, he will be your instructor for that. And so he developed this one, and I've taken over and I'm teaching it now. And then second semester he teaches it. So that's kind of the way. So one reason I say this is that you'll see Chris in a lot of the videos that he'll walk you through a lot of the stuff. So about half the videos will be Chris explaining things. Chris likes these 2 textbooks, Introduction to Programming and Think Java here. And I think he continues to use those in Java 2. There. So we'll continue to use those, and you often hear Chris talk about these. I also like this CIS Awesome text, so I'm bringing that text into this course also. Now, you think, I got to read 3 texts. No, you don't have to read 3 texts. The idea is that you should pick one of these. They're kind of have different flavors to them, so just pick one of them, and generally every week we'll have all 3 readings, and you can just pick which of these texts you want to read and work from. And you'll see as we go through them some of the kind of differences in the texts for that. So those are your textbooks. Now, software. So if you're in on the computer labs, anywhere on any of the computer labs on campus, you don't have to worry about software installed. It is already installed. But if you have your own computer or an online students have this, we want to have and use Apache NetBeans generally. So that's what we'll be doing. That's what the video show is, this Apache NetBeans for that. You can run it on both Mac and Windows for this and install it. So again, we don't have to do it in a computer lab, but if you're all of your own computer, you can download and install Apache NetBeans here. Now, Apache or NetBeans needs the Java development kit here. Now, generally computers have what's called the Java runtime environment setups here. So most computers have that, but we also need this Java development kit, the JDK installed. So you'll have to install that too. Now, I'm not quite sure, but it used to be you had to install this and then install this here. When I was looking at the newest NetBeans installation, it seems like it might install the JDK here for you, and you might be able to skip this first step. But I have 3 different computers and all 3 of them already have JDKs installed, so I couldn't test this out. So if anyone is trying to do this, you might want to try just doing this Apache NetBeans and see if it works and if it sets up the JDK for you, and you can let us know so we'll know that in the future. So I know this works to do this and then do that because we've always done it that way. So okay. Let me know if you have trouble setting it up, getting this installed as you're going this. Now, if you don't want to use the Apache NetBeans or have some issues, particularly if you have like a Chromebook or something like that and want to do it, we will look at some other alternatives for doing Java development and see those. So we'll mention those in a sec. But this is kind of the standard way, and this is what all the videos are kind of targeting. We'll show you how to do it in this way. Okay, so that's our start here sort of stuff. So again, we will tend to do a unit every week. So unit 1 will be this week. Next week we'll do unit 2. So every week we'll do a unit. I'll tend to keep these other hidden units hidden largely because I haven't updated them. They're every week I gotta go through and change things, tweak things, some things of change and stuff like that. So I'll try to release these ahead of, a little bit ahead of time, but they I won't, the whole thing won't be open so I can correct stuff. In fact, I am still tweaking some stuff at unit 2, but I wanted just to show you, let you see a couple units so you can get an idea how it works. So again, this week we do unit 1 for us. Generally, there'll be, the first thing will be some learning materials, and the beginning of the week, like Monday and a little bit on Wednesday, we'll go over those learning materials. And that's usually doing stuff, learning things in the textbooks and that sort of stuff here. And we'll do that today here. There's generally a learning activity that we'll do. We generally do that later in the week, like Wednesday or Friday here. And the discussion will generally be tied to that learning activity where something you've done in your learning activity will be here. This week, we have a 3-part learning or discussion stuff. First, you have to tell me about something you did this summer here, so we can just kind of connect. I'm sorry, I bet you've already done this a couple times. Just do another what I did this summer sort of thing, or something about you here. I'll post something here. And again, just, you don't have to do all this sort of stuff, just one thing. So I'll post pictures of the woodworking projects I did this summer or something like that. So the other part is you have to, we'll go through this learning activity, and we'll actually do this in class on Wednesday, and then we'll post that here. And then you need to reply to other people's posts by the end. See, do I have the date? So yeah, okay. So in general, everything in this class will be due on Monday nights, which is a little strange because in most of my classes it's Sunday nights, but for this class we're doing Monday nights because if you get stuck, we have a lot of on-campus students, and if they get stuck, they can track me down sometime on Monday or ask me in class and do it on Monday night. My general assumption is that, like, by next Monday, we'll be moving on to the next unit. So you should be done with everything by, over the weekend here. And every weekend you should be done. But again, if you get stuck somewhere and need help, it's not officially due until Monday night there. So for all these discussions. So just keep that in mind as your schedule. Same with online students. So I'll tend to have and for online students, I'll have or anyone, I'll have work sessions or help sessions on Sunday nights. So if you are working on getting things done, those are a good time to ask for help. Again, and then the assignment, generally often the assignment will be something you work on your own outside of class, but like this first week, we will do the assignment in class. So keep thinking, I'm used to this Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. So we'll do the learning activity on Friday because we don't have this is Wednesday already. So we'll do the learning activity on Friday, and we'll also try to do part of the assignment and get a start on the assignment. We won't always do that, but again, I want to get you up and running on this on Friday. The other thing I just want to note is that I will be posting these Zoom sessions here. So I have these hidden, so you can't, from last year, hidden here. But like today's Zoom session, they'll be posted as a link right in here. So tomorrow I'll post that here. Okay. So let's go into the learning materials for Unit 1 and look at that. So there are these 3 different textbooks, CIS Awesome, Intro to Programming, and Think Java. that we'll look at, and we'll kind of jump around through all three today and see. We'll try out this little activity here, hopefully, and then we'll get into these. Oh, and then there's videos that walk through, Chris's videos that walk through basically the same thing that we're doing today here. So, so let's talk. First I'm going to jump into this CS Awesome course. So CS Awesome, I think you can go to this course and you don't have to create a login or anything like this. Although if you want to track your progress, you can log in to this. This is from Runestone Academy, and it's created by the Center for Computer Science Education, which used to be housed here and has now moved down to the University of Minnesota. So I know a number of the faculties who helped create this textbook here, and it's the same textbook as used in our CS Principles class. So if you're in CS Principles and you're taking mobile CSP, it uses a similar environment for that here. So again, this is just, we'll just talk about a couple of sections here. The Java development environment here. Okay, so one quick thing. One problem with CS Awesome is it really targeted to high school students taking college level courses in high school using what we call the AP exams. So there's a lot of things about, oh, you need this for the AP exam or that sort of stuff for the AP exam and stuff like that. So we will skip all of that because you don't have to take an exam, you don't have to pass the AP exam to get credit for this class. You are in the college class. You just have to pass this darn class. That's all you need to do to get credit for it. So, so that's we'll be skipping over this, but I wanted to go to section 1.4 here, Java environments here. And again, this talks about different Java environments. There are lots of Java environments, but we'll be using this NetBeans here. So that's what we'll be focused on and use. I will just mention, if you are working online a lot, and if you're like have a Chromebook, this Replit is an online environment that works in a browser and stuff like that. So you can do that. So again, it takes a little bit more to get set up. So, and you don't have to set it up, but again, you can go there, you can sign up, you can use your Google account. And you get these replets here, and so I can go there, and it gives me an environment where I can put code in here, and I can just run the code in the browser for this stuff. So some people find that useful, but like I say, we'll be focused more on NetBeans in this class and using NetBeans. So, and again, there are other environments here. There's also something called GitHub, and we'll talk about GitHub a little bit later on here. If you go on in software development, we will require you to use GitHub and use GitHub a lot for managing assignments, that sort of stuff. But on this class, it's you can start using GitHub, but you're not required to use GitHub. So we'll talk about that later on. Okay, so that's 1.4. Let's look at, there's another section on growth mindset here. One of the things to keep in mind is that some people have had more practice in programming or algorithmic thinking and that sort of stuff than others. And so you want to be thinking, of this. A lot of this stuff, I consider this almost like a workout routine for learning programming, and that's where I think of it as a workout routine where I force you to work out your brain and your habits of programming, that sort of stuff. And if you take lots of shortcuts, you won't get as much workout there. But the more you work with this stuff, the better you will get with this. And again, some of you have probably a bit longer background, and so you won't have to work out as much to get to get the solutions and that sort of stuff as others who haven't had as much experience and that sort of stuff with this. I often think of this when, in areas my wife makes fun of me at. So like dancing, my wife, whenever we go dancing, she always was amazed how long it takes me to learn real simple steps, dance steps. And because it comes very natural, I don't know why, she maybe just danced or maybe just listened to music when she was growing up. This whole rhythm and moving it just seems to come very naturally to her because she grew up in a household with that. Not me. Struggle. But all it just means is that I had to spend a little bit more time on it and learn and work on it, that sort of stuff. So and focus on that. So that's kind of where when I think of this is that you got to figure out, how much time and how you want to work on it. We will be doing a fair amount of paired programming, working with pairs in different ways. There's a lot of evidence that shows that helps your learning. In fact, a number of software development companies will have you do pair programming in the field also. So, okay. Next is the chapter 1.2, this Y program here. And this talks about your first Java program here. And here's our first Java program. And one thing I like about CS Awesome is that we can have a program like this and we can run it, we can edit the code right here and we can just run it right here. Here we're saying run this program and it's going to print out hi there for that. And then here's the results, hi there. And then again, it's might be checking later on, you will want certain outputs and you might have to change the code and it will often tell you, did you get the right output? Did you program the right way for this? So again, this is a nice little environment where we can write our programs here. So, and it talks about using this print method and two commands, print line and print. And we'll talk about those more later on. So we'll work for an activity through that. So I'm just going to leave this for you to review. And let's look at another textbook. So this Introduction to Programming with Java textbook has been around for a while. And we'll walk you through things. And then, again, a couple things I want to point out is in this stuff. The first chapter really goes over a lot of what we would cover in like CS principles. So we're not actually going to cover it. I just want to point out that this is material covered in CS principles here. So the fetch execute cycle here, it talks about the fetch execute cycle and this sort of structure. That's just like we do this fetch execute cycle in mobile CSP setup there. So either maybe you've had mobile CSP already, the CS principles class, or you're going to take it later on in the semester, you'll see this. So I'm not going to be covering much of this first chapter where they talk about the Java virtual machine in here. Now here, let's see, I go to chapter index. They talk about the Java virtual machine and how that works. And again, talk about Java programming getting compiled, and then we can run it on a Mac or Windows or Linux or even your phone, for example, here. It talks about some internet sort of stuff and how the internet works. And again, this is all covered in CS principles. So again, I'll be skipping over this stuff because it's, you'll get it. You may have seen it already. If not, you get. And again, if you want to review that, it's fine. You can read through that. So, for this. Now, we start section 2 on basic Java, and that's going to introduce us to our basic Java structure here and our hello world command So this is our command system dot out dot println hello world, and I'll print out hello world. Some things to note that is this has to be structured. The syntax is very particular about Java. So we have to say system with a capital S, and then dot out, no spaces, and then dot println, println, and then a parenthesis and a quote, a double quote, and then the words we want to print out, and a double quote, and then a parenthesis and a semicolon here. So again, we'll see a lot of these sort of commands, and we'll get better at parsing or kind of reading this sort of command. At first, it's just going to look like a string of letters that don't make any sense. But once we start seeing these and you start recognizing words and that sort of stuff, it will be helpful to you here. So, and again, this walks you through, talks a little bit about some other things with our commands. Like here, we had this program. It said public my class, public static void main, and then your code here. And same here, we had public my class, public static main, and then the code here. And again, most of this is just what we call boilerplate. We always have to have this in a Java program. And then this is the one line we're going to change. And again, this walks us through that same sort of boilerplate idea for this. The last one is this Think Java chapter 1 idea here. And this is, again, going to walk us through, again, stuff we cover in CS principles. What is a computer? What is a program here? And then they jump into their hello world program where, again, we say public class hello, and then public static void main. And then here's our command, system.out.println hello world. If you ever want to go down a fun Wikipedia rabbit hole, search or start looking up hello world and why hello world. So whenever we teach computers programming languages, the first program almost everyone ever makes, it says hello world. And so every time I teach you a new programming language, we'll do hello world. We print out hello world in that programming language. But if you ever want, you can do a deep dive into hello world and how that all works, why, where it comes from, that sort of stuff. So, okay. So again, this is our command, and when we run it here. So in this environment, it'll show the code very clearly here and show the output, but you can't run it here for this. Okay, so that's generally you'll have these readings you want to go. So I'll lecture on these. Sometimes I'll spend more time on them, but we're just kind of introducing this stuff. And then sometimes we'll do activities. So we're gonna pair you up and have you work on activities on this print activity for the rest of the class. We've got about 15 minutes left. We should be okay. So we're gonna pair you up here. So I'm gonna hold for a second. We're gonna pair you up with just right now with the partners here. Can you partner with him? Yeah. And just figure out one computer or the other. We've got pair here, pair here, pair here, pair here, pair here, pair. Oh. All right. So we're just doing this activity. You don't have to turn this in. There are no points associated with this. It's just to help you learn here. So the idea is that you'll make a copy of this document. You'll open it up. And you want to share it with the other person on your team. And again, you just have to edit this on one of your screens. I don't know if you're used to using Google Docs and this whole Google Docs environment. We use it a fair amount in our curriculum here. So again, this is a document. Up here, I can hit share and I can type in who else to share it with. So again, it'll be shared in your folder, whoever's editing it, but you should share it with your partner so that they can access it later on and do that. So again, once you make a copy of it, hit share here. Again, later on, if you're going to turn this in, you'd need to share it with me, but I never want to see this. So you don't have to share it with me right now here. And then your job is that we have a command here. You want to figure out what this command does, guess what the output is, and then test out the output for this here. So how are we going to do this? You can like use the online textbook for this and just do it here, but I'm going to show you how to do this in NetBeans here. So let's run NetBeans. So again, if you have a partner in there, one of them could have this document open here, and the other one could have could run NetBeans in the other screen if you want. So I'm going to go to my start menu. I'm going to type in NetBeans and find Apache NetBeans 22. Open that up. So once I have NetBeans opened, I'm going to minimize this. So find NetBeans. You're going to do new project. And we're going to go down to Ant with, Java with Ant. And we're going to do a Java application. So again, run NetBeans, new project, Java with Ant. We'll always do Java with Ant, and we'll generally do a Java application here. So then go next. It'll hopefully set things up for us. You can give it some name for the application. I'm just gonna call mine day one. I don't know. You can just leave it as Java 1 or whatever there and just hit finish. So it'll have a window here, and it says here's a / to do code application logic here. That's where we want to put in our statement. So now I can just go back to my web browser here, and I have this command. I can just take that, copy it, go back to NetBeans, and I can paste it in here. So your code goes, again, there's other stuff around this boilerplate stuff we have to leave there. And again, some braces we have to leave there. And just right by the to-do, we put in our command here, and then we run our command. So the run command, it looks like maybe a play arrow. It's the green arrow in the middle, top middle of this. That plays, and it'll print out the output here. So then I would say, oh, that's my output. Here's my output, hello world. Oh, and I was supposed to guess. You have to guess what the output is. I guessed it was going to say hello world. Okay, so go through this, try to guess what the output is for this, and then try it out and paste it. See how that works. No, and then do that. Okay, and then you can just say, you can change the name or just keep it with that name. Yeah. So eventually run there, and then I'll put it right down there. Yep. Right. Yeah, that looks good. And then maybe you're gonna put a dot button up here. The green one. Okay. So let's do a new, sorry, close that, new file, new project, and then could I do this job again? If these are the same, and then. You did made it. So now, if you're here, just take, well, yeah, we can put the code in.
Okay.
Right? Like, you want to keep that, see that break there? You want to keep that. You want to keep the code there, right? Or something like that. That's what it's. Sorry? Sorry, no, partner.
No, that's okay. No, it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's a great new project. And I need to change the name of it. I already found. Okay, and then. One like, yeah, this one get. And you want to put in your. Okay.
Why are you writing like this? Oh. No.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah.
What's fun is like go to the end of this TV line. And
Okay, yeah.
so anywhere above that brace and after that brace, so anywhere here. And you can delete that too if you want to. Which one? Yes, okay, so some of these might give you an error.
Yeah.
Right. And then just say that it's going to give you an error here. So some of these, if I copy and paste them in here. One of the things you will try to learn is what will give us an error. So right now, when I paste this in there, it won't even let me run this here. It'll highlight this and put it in error here. So just say error, or something like that. Just tell me error.
Yeah.
And eventually, by the end of the semester, you'll be able to look at this and go, oh, that's an error.
Do we put the reason or?
No. Well, if you want to, I mean, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, I mean, I don't ever see this. I don't care what you do. Learn something. That's your goal today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, as soon as I'm just gonna work through this example, I'm gonna quit this recording.